Hello, folks. Welcome to this episode of the Prophet Easy One. Today, we're going to talk about some herbs again. We're going to talk about this lung tea. Lung tea. I've been getting asked questions ever since COVID came out because I had my Kung Flu kits, which included Cold Comfort, which will knock the flu out, and a blend of herbs that help your lungs, especially for deep congestion. And I tossed and turned about which one would be better for COVID. And as it turns out, I made the right choice, and which wasn't the lung tea. I was given the other one that I'm going to talk about maybe on the next video. That's called Breath of Life. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into the herbs that are in this lung tea, what did they do, and what it might be good for. So if you have lung issues, this is a video you probably ought to pay some attention to. All right. The first ingredient in this blend of lung tea is mullein. Now, mullein's a great lung herb. Oh, yeah, man. One of the best out there. It might be the best overall. I'm not going to say that because there's a lot of good lung herbs, but it's an expectorant. There's actually 360 species of it, so you got to get the right stuff. Some of those species, if you get it on your skin, rub it in, you can get contact dermatitis, although it's rare for that to happen. So anyway, it's an expectorant, which helps rid your body of mucus. A lot of lung problems, a lot of them, you're going to have mucus, excess mucus. So it gets rid of mucus and phlegm. It can, which contain dirt and toxins, that your body's trying to get rid of, whether it be viruses or bacteria or dirt that's come into your lungs. So this will help to clean it out. All right. It has a natural mucilage to coat and protect the respiratory system. There's other herbs that have natural mucilages too. In fact, I may mention one here in a minute here. So they'll coat and protect the respiratory system. It also has an anti-inflammatory that actually focuses on the lungs. See, so many of these herbs, when you get these compounds into your body knows where to send them. Signals are being sent out saying to your liver, hey, we need more of this. And your liver will say, okay, give me some time to make some and I'll send it to you. And that's what that's about. All right, so let me see. So it's anti-inflammatory that focuses on the lungs. That's what I was getting at. A lot of herbs, they work on specific parts of your body, whether it be your eyes, your brain, your nerves, your lungs, and this works specifically to fight inflammation of the lungs. And so many lung issues deal with inflammation. In fact, a lot of these herbs I'm going to cover that are in this blend, that's what they help with a lot, is inflammation and expectorants to get rid of mucus. All right, so like I said here, it says, it's good for all types of lung conditions. Now, like I said, certain ones, if you rub it on your skin, you can't get a rash. It depends on which mullein you're using. And this was used to treat tuberculosis throughout the 1800s, probably till the early 1900s when that crook, Rockefeller, bought out some pharmaceutical businesses and then started going to all the medical colleges in the country and saying, hey, look, I'm going to give you money to build a new wing or give you a contribution or new equipment, but you have to stop teaching about medicinal herbs. And I'm going to send you people to help you to teach about pharmaceuticals. Yeah, that's where it began there. All right, so the mullein, getting back to that, it contains saponins, which they're anti-inflammatory, they're pain relieving, and they're anti-tumor. So that's all real good. In fact, a lot of lung conditions can end up leading to worse things, cancer and other stuff. But keep in mind too, a lot of these conditions, these lung conditions, your heart can have a lot to do with it. Your kidneys could have stuff to do with it. Maybe we'll talk about that in some other video. Right now, we're just going to cover the lung tea. All right, so it's got flavonoids, which those are powerful antioxidants and they're anti-inflammatory. Uh, it has phenyltetrathione glycosides. Yeah, try to say that 3 times real fast. And those are antioxidants, antiviral, and anti-inflammatory. So it'll actually kill off viruses too, and helps with oxidation. Very important. All right, this has been known to help. We're talking about pneumonia now, with pneumonia, staphylococcus, and it's used normally for asthma, bronchitis, COPD, common cold, and cough. So that's one of the herbs that's in the blend, but that's not all you get. All right, now you also get Pleurzy root. Yeah, that's another really good lung herb. I helped a guy in Europe with Pleurzy root, and now it wasn't him; it was someone else told me they're actually growing mullein of their own now and using it. But yeah, I helped a guy big time with the Pleurzy root. Okay, now that once again, it'll loosen phlegm and other secretions. It aids in minor, in reducing minor pulmonary edema. So it's going to help, reduce swelling in your lungs. Once again, it actually can also be helpful with menstrual cramps, although that's not what we're covering here. There's quite a few herbs can help with that. Um, it may promote bronchial dilation. Now, from what I saw, they say it may. From what I learned 20 years ago, apparently it does. So, just depends on the source and what they know. All right. Now, you shouldn't take this if you're pregnant. Um, see, because it can cause uterine contractions due to the because it has cardiac glycosides, which may make heart meds less effective, and it also make diuretics less effective. Um, this one also, if you rub it on your skin and they don't know why, but it can also cause a skin rash, and they don't even know why. All right, let's see. So it's helpful with all types of respiratory infections. Yeah, it's a very good herb for your lungs. Uh, like for pleurisy, in fact, it's called pleurisy root. Now, why do you think they called it that? Probably a good reason for it. So it's good for pleurisy, which is swelling around your lungs. Uh, Pneumonia, which is basically swelling of the lung lining, and of course, accumulation of fluid. And this is real good if you do have accumulation of fluids. Like I'm waiting for a call from someone right now that once a week they're draining half a beer can of fluids from his lungs. I really need to hear from him soon. All right. It also helps with bronchitis, which is swelling of the airways. Most of the herbs that I'm going to mention here are helpful with bronchitis. And they're not sure of the mechanisms, though, as to how that it works, but we just know that they work. So many of the herbs, I mean, when I've listened to medical tests, and read studies about them and all, the doctors can't figure out how that they work, but they know from their double-blind studies that, yeah, the things are definitely working. And their goal is to figure out what's in there that works and try to go to a laboratory and synthesize it, maybe change it a little bit so they can get a patent on it and get you using that stuff with its side effects instead of taking actual herbs. By the way, I'm sitting here with a whole bunch of herbs all over the table in front of me. I had another shipment come in, been having several go out. All right, so don't use it with diuretics. And it'll make heart meds less effective. Let me see, where else we get? Okay, now we're going to go to Lobelia. Oh, by the way, that the pleurisy root helps with coughing too. All right, lobelia contains lobeline. So many herbs have a particular compound that is only found in that herb. There's no other plant in the world that has it. And these are generally very powerful compounds. One that probably just about all you are familiar with is a compound known as THC, tetrahydrocannabinol. It's only found in one plant on the planet, and that's the marijuana plant. Yeah, and it's very powerful. I mean, look at now, they're selling all the CBD stuff and everything else, which I believe they make too many claims about. Uh, Yeah, I would use other things instead, but they're out there to make a buck. All right, so the lobelia, it's also an expectorant. It thins mucus and causes cough, because that's how you're going to get rid of the stuff. Your body's going to thin it down. Your cilia, certain herbs cause that your cilia, the little hairs in it, to become more active to draw the stuff up, and then you cough it out. Just don't cough it into your mask or into someone's face. Yeah, what do they say? Do it into your elbow or something. All right, let's see here. So now it has been known as asthma weed. So think about it. They call lobelia asthma weed. Oh, and come to think of it, I would say about 12, 14 years ago, I knew a girl who'd been in the herb business for quite some time, worked for a good friend of mine. And I asked her, like I often ask people in the business, well, what's your favorite herb? And she said, lobelia, the one we're speaking of now. And I said, lobelia? Because I'd never really had pushed it for lung issues or anything. And she said, yeah. And I said, why? And she told me, actually, I tried to get in touch with her a couple months ago because I haven't seen her in many years now. But she said she had some disease that the doctors have been treating and treating. She spent all this money. It wasn't getting any better. She took lobelia and it cleared it up. And as a result, that's what got her into the herb business. You know, I think most of the good people who are in it because of what the herbs have done for them. That's my case. That's the case of quite a few people that I know. All right, so getting back to the lobelia, like I said, it's known as asthma weed. It increases dopamine, so it can help with withdrawals from smoking and drinking and drugs. Although there's other herbs that are real good for that. This could probably be good in a blend for it, but that's not why we're using it here. Although no telling if that dopamine doesn't help. So you don't want it because of what it does to increase the dopamine. You don't want to take it with psych meds, lithium, antidepressants, anti-anxiety, stimulants, smoking cessation meds, and also lobelia should not be taken in large dosages for long periods of time. All right, now we get to the next herb in the lung tea. Already sounding pretty good for your lungs, huh? Coltsfoot. Man, coltsfoot tastes really good. And it's got so many other names to it, but we're going to just call it coltsfoot for now. In fact, so many of these herbs, they have a lot of names for them. Now, the problem with coltsfoot is that it contains hepatotoxic pyrolysidine alkaloids. Now, those are bad for your liver, but those same alkaloids are found in milk, they're found in eggs, they're found in beef, they're found in comfrey, one of the herbs I have here on the table right here. It's found in comfrey. Uh, so if you're taking it on occasion in small dosages, that's fine. It's not something I would tell you, man, if you can take 2 cups of it a day for 6 months, you're going to have liver damage. Yeah, no doubt about it. But when you're getting it in here and you're only doing a small amount at a time, here's what you're doing. You'd be doing like one side of this. You fill it up with the herbs, close it up, move it around in your hot water, stir with it. These are the ones I prefer using. But that's all you do. You put that much in. So because it's so many different herbs, you're not getting a lot of colt's foot in it. So it's not really those toxins aren't gonna hurt you. All right, now it's good for bronchitis, asthma, whooping cough, pertussis, sore throat, very good for sore throat, hoarseness, and laryngitis. That is real good for it, and so is licorice. Yeah, you take these sticks, just chew on them. They're antibiotic, antiviral, very sweet, very tasty, and they actually kill bacteria in your mouth and help your teeth to keep them from decaying. It's got some glycerides and a bunch of compounds in there. Okay, getting back to this though. So where was I? All right, bronchitis, asthma, whooping cough, sore throat, hoarseness, laryngitis. It's not for pregnant or breastfeeding. It could affect allergies, although that would be rare because it is such a small amount. It is a The family that it's of does have a lot of allergens, but because you're getting in such a small dosage, it's not going to affect all those receptors and give you problems. All right, now, and it may affect your blood pressure in large dosages. So, like I said, you're getting this in very small dosages, and it may affect liver meds. Now, it has a high mucilage content, like slippery elm. It has sort of a licorice or anisette smell and taste. Um, and get back to what I said. Oh, yeah, like slippery elm. But slippery elm has a mucilage for your stomach. Some of these herbs have mucilages that'll go to work on your lungs. Like I said, your body knows what to do with this stuff. All right, so what else? Okay, that's about it for the cold foot. Like I say, very good for sore throats, though. And so is this. Or laryngitis. Yeah. And, oftentimes, well, that's upper respiratory problems. So a lot of these herbs are working on upper and lower respiratory problems. Now, one of the other things that's in there is alfalfa. Now, alfalfa is known as the food of the gods. The word alfalfa, I learned that decades ago from a guy who had two PhDs, and one of his papers was on herbs throughout ancient history, and another one was on herbs of the Hebrew nation. So he knew quite a bit about the old plants and what they've been used for millennia. Uh, so alfalfa, it's in the pea family. Now, alfalfa is so good. It's in one of my blends that I almost made today. Right now, I'm drinking some detox tea because I had some left in the bag. I wanted to finish it up, and yeah, I'm gonna drink that. Get good detox. Good thing to do now and then. In fact, when people come to me and say, "Well, I'm healthy. Uh, I don't have any medical problems. Is there anything you would recommend?" Yes, then I recommend the detox tea because all of us, we're getting all kinds of bad things in through our lungs, to our skin, to our mouths, to our food. Yeah, and so it's good to detox your liver, your kidneys, and your other organs to help clear up your bloodstream. All right, so here's what's one of the things that's so good about the alfalfa. Now, it's real good because of what it does, like enzyme wise, in your body. That's one of the great things about it. And it's loaded with A, C, E, K, copper, folate, magnesium, all B vitamins. So those things, vitamins in particular, and some of those minerals, they work as coenzymes. So when your body needs to make something, like let's say your body needs to work with some collagen, which is what this plant will give you, then you gotta have vitamin C and you have to have zinc. If you don't have those coenzymes, then it's not gonna activate the collagen and it's not gonna do you any good. So it's good that it has all these coenzymes to help other things happen in your body when your body needs to do them. All right, so it helps with cholesterol absorption. Uh, it may and will activate your immune system. It does have estrogen effects. Uh, it helps, the vitamin K in there is what helps blood clot. So you wouldn't want to take this with meds such as warfarin, or what I should say is you don't want to take meds such as warfarin when you're taking this. That's what I should say. Yeah, you don't want to take it. Period. That originally, if from most people don't realize this, it was a rat poison. Yeah, you put in the rat's food, the rat would eat it, and it would bleed out internally. And now they're giving this poison to people to make them get better. Phew, no, the side effects far outweigh any of the benefits. People are getting all the sores all over, the spots because their blood is leaking out of their vessels. It's terrible. All right, so what else here? Uh, yeah, and you don't want to take it if you're taking immune suppressors because, like I say, it's going to boost your immune system. It's high in bioactive compounds. These bioactive compounds, it'll mix with other compounds that do things, and like such as saponins, which that's what lowers cholesterol, and that's well studied. Uh, Coumarins, oh man, great for so many things. Flavonoids, phytoesterols, phytoestrogens, and alkaloids that reduce blood sugar. So it actually helps you with your blood sugar too. Uh, it's got and super powerful antioxidant properties. Antioxidants are very important, folks. Well, I could get into that some. I won't right now because I'd like to get this done. Okay, only 20 minutes so far. Now, let's talk some more things about the alfalfa. Because someone asked me this recently. And so if you listen to this, Stephanie, it can help reduce DNA damage. So all you people are worried about DNA damage because of some jab you got, you might be wanting to take some alfalfa. Now, because of its immune properties, they suggest you don't take it if you have lupus. Me, I'm not so sure about that. I'm just telling you what they're saying. All right. Now, and like I say, it's due to the immune stimulatory effects of the L-cavenin amino acid. Okay. So, but see, normally if you have lupus, yeah, you don't want to overstimulate. That's for sure. Now, I have a great herb, which is, I'm not going to pull it out. It's right here in front of me. But if you have lupus, that's the herb that you need. It's right here. This is it right here. If you have lupus, this is what you need, astragalus, because it's going to limit how many cells your body makes. If it starts making not enough, if you have AIDS, it's going to cause you to make more T cells. If you're making too many, it's going to cause your body to make less. So I recommend that for both AIDS and lupus people. All right, now another thing, about alfalfa is that it's high in protein. It's very high. I think I may be mistaken. It's about 60 to 70%, I think, by weight. Now it's lightweight, so you'd have to eat a lot of it. But heck, they give it to animals all the time. In fact, in India, let me see. In India, it was called. Well, we'll get to that. So it's high in protein. Oh, in India, they call it the queen of fodder because it's real good for your livestock. And like I said, it's called father of all foods. Another thing is loaded with chlorophyll, which is an antibiotic in itself. I mean, remember the chloroseptic sprays that you sprayed in your mouth? How it was green in the bottle? Chloroseptic is because it had chlorophyll to kill bacteria. And you sprayed it down your throat. All right. So it also helps with digestive enzymes. Like I said, it helps with enzymes, a lot of enzymes, which is very important, but it especially helps with digestive enzymes too. Now, the last thing we can get to that's in this lung tea is peppermint. Yeah, mints, most of the things from the mint family, they're going to be good for your lungs and for your digestion. So it contains menthol. That is good for your lungs. Yeah, it softens up mucus too, but it also works for irritable bowel syndrome because it reduces intestinal spasms. And somebody was asking me about that today. The girl has motility issues, and I'd like to speak to her and see some of her stuff. This most likely, some type of mint would be in the treatment, along with some other things, because it'll reduce the spasms, and not only in the intestines, but in the esophageal spasms too. And peppermint fights inflammation of the respiratory tract lining. So once again, very important for a whole lot of lung issues. Uh, It does slow the breakdown of some meds through the liver, such as Prilosec and Prevacid, which I would not take either one of those. And with ibuprofen, and once again, Coumadin or warfarin, which you shouldn't be on those anyway. And it's generally peppermints recommended for pleurisy, bronchitis, asthma, mucus, and just clearing out the lungs. Actually, that's what I'm saying this whole formula is good for. It says for those who like to breathe. So folks, if you want some of this, well shoot, now because of Christmas My postage is going up on my shipping. 16 bucks for a bag. Yep. I'll try to remember to put my PayPal info in here. Or if you want to mail a check or something, I'll have a mailing address. You can send it, get your bag. If you don't have a T-ball like this or something similar, get with me and get you one of those too. And those are $7, by the way. Okay, so that's it. Another video out of the way. Other than that, I got to spend 3 hours at the clubhouse for this thing to upload. I know it should be good for a lot of people. And I hope that it's good for you. And if you know somebody has lung issues, such as the ones that I just especially mentioned, the bronchitis, asthma, although the breath of life that I'm going to get into, that's also good for asthma, COPD, and some other things. But this is loaded with lung herbs, and something that helps enzymes that kick in those things. So, and coenzymes. So, folks, like I said, hope it was good. Hey, if you're not subscribed, you might want to subscribe. Yeah, learn some more about herbs and what you can do for your health in case you or somebody else has a problem. And you know, it's so cheap and so effective. It's incredible. Uh, yeah, great things are happening. I got some good things coming up. But I just want to remind y'all several things. Be reading your Bible. Yep. Number 2, turn away from your sins. And number 3, humble yourself and pray to God. You know, if you're not turned away from your sins, God may not listen to you unless you're working on getting rid of those sins. So definitely got to repent. You got to pray. And most importantly, you got to read the word. All right, that's all, folks.